Enlightenments from the call of Isa a.s. In reality, the call of Isa a.s. is one of the most complicated and difficult kinds of calls to Allah, the Glorified and Exalted, for it took place in a society that was supposedly a society of faith, the doctrines of which were not sullied by a manifest polytheism. Isa a.s. had to face the scholars and rabbis of the children of Israel who were seasoned in discussing and debating doctrines and other religious matters. Thus, the call of Isa was characterized by many aspects, of which we mention the following. 1. Asceticism. Isa a.s. and his 12 disciples were the most conclusive embodiment of such renunciation of worldly pleasures. In fact, this asceticism, which Isa a.s. profoundly demonstrated to the people, was a cure for that growing condition of opulence spread among the scholars of the children of Israel who had gotten used to life under the authority of the non-believing Romans and become like beasts in mangers, paying no heed but to feasting and filling their paunches. Thus, Isa a.s. and his disciples showed the children of Israel and the Jews, nay, showed all the peoples, how can the divine scholar who is devoted to Allah renounce worldly pleasures and approach the hereafter, particularly in human societies strained by tyrannical dominion, where the poor had not a loaf of bread left to eat with dignity, nor a sound intellectual doctrine to enlighten them after they drowned in moral and social corruption. Hence, the asceticism of Isa and his disciples was a scandal that showed the disgrace of the scholars of the children of Israel. It also showed the people the right path and ways that the divine scholars and leaders should follow to be a source of enlightenment and guidance for them, saviors who would deliver them from the dominion of idols, and guides who would lead them to Allah, the one and only compelling subduer. 2. Devotion to Allah, the Glorified and Exalted. The Jews were not worshipping idols at the time Isa a.s. was sent, but they were obliged to pay a tribute to Caesar. They followed all the legislations their scholars issued and imitated them blindly. They have taken their men of religion and their monks and the Messiah, son of Mary, as their lords, instead of Allah, although they were bidden to worship one Allah only. For there is no God but He. Far is His glory from having the associates they ascribe unto Him. Such deeds are an association with Allah, the Almighty, for those people did not only refrain from performing jihad and reject the presence of the infidel Roman forces in the Holy Land, the land of the monotheists, but they also endeavored to strengthen the state of the occupier and idols, and to consolidate their sovereignty by paying a tribute to the Roman Caesar. Hence, they became idol worshippers, and not monotheists worshipping Allah, although they pretended they were. Even more, they also followed their scholars when the latters violated the law of the prophets and guardians, thus worshipping errant scholars instead of Allah, the Glorified, the Exalted. Indeed, errant scholars place their opinions as a counterpart to the legislation of Allah and call upon people to follow them, making them believe that by obeying them they would be obeying Allah, whereas in this case they would be obeying Satan. May Allah curse and abase him. Therefore, Isa a.s. set off teaching and showing people the divine truths, calling upon them once to devote themselves to worshipping Allah the Almighty, and once to disbelieve and fight idols, and destroy the economic, military, and media pillars of their state. Isa a.s. called upon people to revolt against the scholars of the children of Israel, who gave themselves the authority to legislate as counterparts to Allah, the Almighty, and called people to obey them and follow their footsteps. Thus they mislead people, as they were errant themselves, for they made themselves lords to be worshipped in the stead of Allah Almighty. 1. 3. Justice and mercy. If devoid of justice and mercy, life becomes obscure, with only tyranny, injustice, harshness, pain, and idols without mercy and justice. It is injustice, severity, and harshness that keep Pharaoh, Nimrod, Caesar, and their likes in power and allow them to take the reins of their satanic leadership, so they may lead their supporters and those who follow in their footsteps deep into the abyss of hell. Whoever expects a tyrant to show them justice and mercy is no different than he who wishes to smell a beautiful scent from a carcass. The powerful weapon within the reach of the Prophet ﷺ was justice and mercy. Thus, Isa ﷺ set about promulgating and calling for justice and mercy within the society, the justice that the scholars of the children of Israel dismissed when they kept arms to themselves and passed legislations according to their silly whims and allegations, and the mercy that people never knew while worshipping of the idols. The mercy of Isa ﷺ encompassed even tax collectors who worked directly for Caesar. Isa ﷺ tried to save and deliver them from the dark and obscure end which would await them if they were to follow in Caesar's footsteps.